Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick. I hope you're doing well. It's the Friday chat, but it's on a Saturday. I'm starting to lose track of when it was last on a Friday. But what's essentially happened is this has been sort of like knocked all out of kilter due to my workload over Christmas and stuff, and I'm slowly getting it back, and eventually it will be back on the Friday. Now the weather is very, very, very grim out there. It used to be, well, I had a succession of being able to go on walks. Hopefully I'm going to get that back soon. I would have done one today. We're having Saturday off, but the weather is just abysmal. And I'm in the UK, southeast of England, and you can't really blame the weather, because the last year has been rather mild, to say the least, and now it's suddenly kicked into January. We need extra layers on and stuff. Now, a few days ago it was snowing, but very, very briefly. Excited for kids, but a pain in the bottom for adults, because where I am, we always tend to have just about 2 or 3 buckets of salt or grit to deal with these things, and whenever there's snow consecutively for a few days and it settles, everything shuts down. The trains don't work, there's less buses, and don't get me started about the buses anyway, because due to the COVID stuff and people having to take time off and all that business, there's hardly any drivers, and the buses are few and far between. I'm turning into a bit of Victor Meldrew here. I don't believe it. But anyway, you might not know that show, One Foot in the Grave. It was a UK show. But anyway, it's been mild, and now it's getting a bit colder. I know a lot of people watch this from all over the world. It might be a lot brighter where you are. You might think it's too hot. There's always something going on, isn't there? I'm digressing as I normally do. I work at a supermarket. You may or may not know this from watching other videos. I always hope that they'd open a branch in the Caribbean, like Barbados, and I'd transfer there. I'd have a supermarket that's fairly empty, overlooking the beach, and on my break times I'd go and sunbathe, have a few cocktails. But at the moment, there's no plans to get that done. If you do run a chain of lucrative supermarkets in Barbados and want to offer me work so I can stay there permanently, I've heard the broadband is quite good, then I can run the channel from there. So contact me if you run an expensive load of chain of places in Barbados, or even if you're a local radio station in Barbados or the Caribbean in general. I want to pay top dollar for someone like me to do DJing there, and I can run this in the background as well. I'd certainly consider it. Hooray! Is Barbados on the danger list? Maybe you're not accepting people from the UK, but you know, I'm open for work offers. It'd be good to do something a little bit different, but it's paying the bills. It's paying the bills. So thank you. Hope you had a good Christmas and good New Year's. If you haven't seen you for them, I know we did a few live streams as well. Hope your year started off well. We're about a week into it at the moment, aren't we? Hopefully the weather gets a bit better, as I say. 2022. This COVID thing's been going on since the year 2019. We always hope that this is the last year of it. I think what's probably going to happen is it get a bit like the flu, where we have boosters and vaccines and stuff, and to cope with it, and the coping mechanisms be better. But we're all masked up on public transport and in closed spaces at the moment. So the channel's here to beat stress, as I always say. 6 videos went up this week, as well as the live stream. I'll go over them briefly. A lot of content goes up on here, so you might have missed it. If you want to keep informed when new stuff goes up, then click on the notification bell, or you can follow me on Twitter, Jenkins7Nick, and I often put links to new stuff that's going up. So thank you to the members as well, which I'll come to in a bit, which you're keeping the channel running. Thank you to everyone that's watching the channel, and subscribers too. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. So let's have a recap on the games covered. A few of these we looked at on the live stream as well. So last Saturday we looked at Tetris 2. You might think Tetris, that's boring, but I find it quite relaxing. And this is a good version of Tetris, one of the best I've played on the ZX Spectrum. It's an unofficial sequel. What's good on this one is you can play the standard Tetris with the standard shapes. There's another mode we can play with 7 additional shapes, and they're quite wild, some of those. As well as the standard Tetris game, you can play sort of like a challenge mode where you have to do a certain amount of things for each stage and then go on to the next stage, i.e. complete 5 lines of 1, 4 lines of 2, complete the brickwork, things like that. And there's a cracking soundtrack on this one. It's on 128k, so that's a review I think it's worth looking at, even if you're not into Tetris. Another game we looked at was a game that very much reminded me of Saberwolf back in the day. People suggested I play this game after reviewing The Last Vampire a few weeks ago. This one was called Firelord. And as a kid, I think I would have just explored this thing, not really knowing what I was doing. And that was pretty much my experience as a kid. I liked the game, or as an adult I say, I loved the game. There's a bit of trading involved as well, but my chances of completing it would probably be almost zero. But looking at the viewing figures on this video, I think it was a quite popular game at the time. Yes, good stuff. Firelord. Feels like an Ultimate game, but it's by Houston Consultants. The homebrew we looked at was a mod this time round, and Rodland was a good game. This is Rodland Reimagined, where back in 2012 Rafael Miazga, I'm not sure he's worked on too much stuff since, went through a series of colouring various games in that were in monochrome or changing the backgrounds. He's done a really good job here. It's a nice fun game, Rodland. It deserves to be in colour, and it really pops now, and I really like the alterations that Rafael did here, so that's worth looking at. If you own the original Rodland, then treat yourself to Rodland Reimagined. I think it's downloadable still from the Spectrum Computing if you've got emulation there. Generally we do one video a week of the Commodore Amiga stuff. We're going for a bit of a dirge of games there, but it's always nice to see. This one's got clever use of vector graphics, although the game isn't particularly good. It's controlled on the mouse. It's a chase set in space, influenced by the Polygon Star Wars games, but not quite as good as the Star Wars games. There's not too much speech here, if any. First one, you have to destroy 4 blue vector ships in an asteroid storm. Then you go to attack the ground placements of a planet, or have to go through some gateways, graphically very similar, as I said, to that Star Wars game. I don't think I would have persisted with it back in the day. The first level was maybe a little bit too long, but it's nice to see anyway from a programming point of view. On the Mega Drive, we looked at a quiz game. Now, in the past, on the channel, we looked at various quiz games, blockbusters on the Spectrum. We've looked at Family Feud, Family Fortunes, Wheel of Fortune, and numerous other ones. Bob's Full House, Every Second Counts. There, so we do a few of them. This one, we looked at a game based on a quiz show, mainly produced in America. I think this game only came out in there as well. It's a Jeopardy with an exclamation mark on it. And it's a very long game to play to its fruition. I just played a bit of the game. There's 3 rounds: Jeopardy, Double Jeopardy, and the final. You play against 2 computer opponents, or human components if they are physically there. And by answering questions for cash value, you have to end up at the end of the show with the most money. And isn't that the same for all quiz shows? If you like the TV show Jeopardy, you'll like this. There's a lot of questions on the cartridge, and if you random up some questions you've already had, there's a chance of moving on and random up some different category sections. So that won't be everyone's cup of tea. People into the TV show will quite like this, or general knowledge in general, and trying to increase your knowledge. They will like it. People just into action stuff, not so much. The last game was probably my favourite one of all of them. It's on the Commodore 64, a game I loved on the ZX Spectrum, and this is very similar to that. It was The Trapdoor by Piranha Software in 1986, based on the TV show from the 80s, the animated TV show, which was voiced by Willie Rushton. I've got the series on a DVD, 2 great series to look at there. But basically, Burke is a blue plasticine servant to the bloke upstairs who screams down orders of food he wants, eyeball crush, or various other bits I can't immediately remember, and you must prepare it with the equipment based in the castle and get it up to him in the dumbwaiter lift mechanism within the set amount of time. So a real good, cool game, that one. That was The Trapdoor. So if you want to check out any of those, in particular The Trapdoor, that you missed out, have a look at those, show them some love, do some comments on there and see what they're about. Or even if you want to then pay for the actual physical game yourself, track it down or download it from various sites, you've got that opportunity to do so. There we go. So that's what's been going on this week. I always try and put up maximum content with the limited time I've got available. So once again, thank you for your support. It really helps me keep me going. A lot of this is a morale-based thing. I do get my trolls as well from various sources, but I've been doing this for a number of years. I'm a big boy now, and I can cope with it. People trying to do troll stuff just because they can do, or they're lacking confidence in real life and try and take it out on other people to try and get feel a foothold, try and feel superior. Well, really, they are idiots going deeper and deeper down. But let's not spend any more too much time on those people. Okay, thank you. Have I got my transfer to Barbados yet? Let's check my emails. No offers to transfer to Barbados. Come on, do it. Okay, thank you very much. Sound a bit like Emperor Palpatine then from Star Wars. Do it. Tangents, I don't know what they're about. Anyway, thank you very much. So, I haven't got too many stories to tell you this week. I'm always keen on the Formula One, and that'll be starting soon. It's supposed to be the teams have got revolutionary and new cars, and they should be able to follow. Should be more overtaking in theory, because they can follow close to the car in front. Because instead of the aerodynamics blowing the air backwards, so following the car, you're in the dirty air, it blows the air upwards, so you're not disturbed. Whether this works or not, I do not know. But the main story is really still hang up. Since Lewis Hamilton lost controversially the Formula One Championship in the last race with some very controversial decisions by the person in charge of the race, Massey, the director, he hasn't taken it very well, and I think he's been silent on media ever since. There's even rumours that Lewis Hamilton might not race next season. I think he will. He's just got in a bit of a strop, and with 5 laps to go, he had his 8th championship and record-breaking championship, and the safety car come out, and Verstappen on fresher tyres won the race. Unfair? Well, it's that sort of thing that happens, really. Will he come back? I don't know. He's not going to have it all his own way next season as well, because he's got George Russell as a teammate who'll be up against him. If Russell's as quick as him, or they crash, or there's problems there, I think he might possibly call it a day. There's already people saying that Hamilton won't win another race in Formula One. Well, I don't know. If he chooses to go next season, he certainly will do. But it does look like the start of the Verstappen season. We'll see how quickly that Red Bull is. But in theory, if everything they say about the 2022 cars is correct, they should be a lot closer together. So we'll have a lot more different winners. Hopefully McLaren, there'll be Ferrari winners, Red Bull, it'll be a lot closer racing. And it's more dependent on how good the actual driver is rather than the car. We can hope. We've heard these things before. Do you think that will happen? So let me know. Do you think Lewis Hamilton will race next season? Do you think the cars will be closer together? Or do you think it'll be more the same? They'll be more spaced out as per usual, as a very clever race engineers try and exploit the actual rules. That happens every time they update these. I don't see a reason why it'll be any different this time around. Now, television-wise, one of my favourite shows of all time, you might not know it if you're not in the UK, but it's Toast of London. It was on the Channel 4's 4 on demand service, then it recently moved over to the BBC. It stars Matt Berry. It's very surreal, this show. It stars Matt Berry as an actor, and he's exploits around London trying to get various jobs, and the lack of luck that he has. He looks a bit like Dickie Davies from that old sports show back in the 80s, and it's very well written, very humorous there. So there was about 3 seasons, then there was a big gap, and thankfully there's a new series now on the BBC, which you can see the whole series now if you've got access to the BBC iPlayer, which is called Toast in Tinseltown. So essentially the premise for this, Toast has left London to pursue his acting career in Los Angeles, and it's just as funny. It gives you a rafter of new characters, and you know, it takes it to a new dimension, and I think they did the right decision there. Rather than do another one based in well, so fictional London, they've moved it over to Los Angeles and all the craziness that goes on there. I won't spoil it for you if you want to see it, but lots of crazy characters with crazy names. Clem Fandango is there as well as usual, and the humour persists. Ray Purchase in there thereabouts, but not as much as before. So check that one out if you're a fan of Toast of London, or even if you're not. If you've got access to the iPlayer, have a look at that. Toast of London and Toast of Tinseltown, the series that follows on from there. So thank you very much. The channel continues. Still looking at the tech. I've got about 4 days off soon, unless anything changes, which it more than likely will do. But then I'm going to sit down, look at the budget we've got, and possibly upgrade this camera and do a few other things while I look at webcams. I just need more time so I don't make a duff purchase and blow the war chest I've made. I need time to sit down and think about it, see some videos, see some reviews about various bits, and then get that in. So thank you for your support. That's what making all these things possible. The main change that happened about 1.5 years ago, where we upgraded the broadband to something a bit faster, and I want to offer you the best thing that I can do. A lot of you won't be bothered about the tech, but it matters to me to offer something good and in the end to grow the channel beyond that. So thanks folks, it'll always be predominantly retro. So on that note, I will say thank you to all the members. If you want to support the channel a bit more and become a member, then click on that join button. Won't commit you straight away. It'll tell you a bit what it's all about, and you can make a decision then. So it's very, very low, $1.99. So if you don't think you'll miss that, that'll help me a great deal if enough people did that. And then that dream of getting full time and get the best tech I possibly can. But if you're on the second tier and above, I will give you a shout out, your name, unless you don't want me to. If you don't want me to, then let me know, either via Jenkins Nick on Twitter or via the within the members section, do a post there. I can shout out any site that you want me to do as well. If I'm shouting out a site that you no longer want me to shout out, then obviously let me know about that as well, and I'll cease all action. Okay, so I'll give you as much information about those sites that I possibly can. Some of them are the same each time, so I'll basically say the same thing. But you say, if you're watching this, have a look on those links that I shout out as well. So big thank you this time round to... Thank you, folks. I'd really like to meet up with you at some point, if it was ever possible. But I know we're all different places around the world on different time zones. So thank you. If I were to do a stand-up tour, I'd go to all your places. Stand-up tour, you're getting a bit ahead of yourself now, Nick. You'd have to be a comedian and some jokes. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much to Jason Smith, Tom Man Centuria, thank you. Grey Hulk 2, thank you as well. And David B73. Big thank you to Dogs there, recently got in contact with you on Twitter, so thank you Dogs. So you'll see all my alerts that go up when new videos come up, and links too, so it's there if anyone wants to follow suit. You don't have to use Twitter actively or even post anything, it just gives you alert if you want to follow my field when the new videos go up as well. But you can do that by clicking on the bell too. Big thank you to Obed Brinkman, thank you Obed for all your support, and also to Pete James, thank you Pete. Jason's Arnott's Terrifying House of Obsession. So if you get a chance, he didn't ask me to shout out his YouTube, but if you get a chance, click on that as well. Some good videos on there. So it's Jason Arnott's Terrifying House of Obsession. Give that channel a look. A massive thank you to GTP Films and N Barrett. Thank you for all your encouragement, sir. Really appreciated. Hope things are going well for you in 2022. Thank you to Ratty. Thank you. And Malad1. Ozone 1255, Al Fairweather, what's this? I've got a note here. There we go. Thank you. Thank you to Al Fairweather, thank you, and the Cat Poppy. Torque Marder, thank you everyone, and also to Nikki S. Hope things are going well in 2022, as to all of you. Claire Johnson, thank you Claire, have a very happy new year. What Ho Snookers, active on well, Twitter and what is it? I've forgotten. Twitch, that's it. Twitch. Get Twitch and Switch. Twitch, thank you. Thank you to John Roby and Jeffrey Searby. Sorry, sir, I pronounced your name wrong then. Jeffrey Searby, thank you. Big hello and a thank you as always to Steve Norman. Steve runs the site RETROARCADIA.BLOG. That's RETROARCADIA.BLOG. Looks at different aspects of gaming each week. This time he's looked at breakout clones, most notably a Batty on the ZX Spectrum. They did come out on the Commodore 64 as well, but I didn't think it was quite as good. So he's looked at various breakout clones. I have a read of that. It's got lovely wording, lovely screenshots as well. He's looked at the Super Breakout on the Atari 2600 as well, which I've also reviewed. Arkanoid, that's one of the big ones, and its sequel, Revenge of Doe, and Krakau's. Have a look at that. If you want to catch up with breakout clones and see what your favourite one was back in the age. I think one of my favourite ones, one of my most basic ones back in the day, I do love Batty, that's cool. I like Through the Wall because it was the very first Spectrum one I played, and probably the first one I played ever, breakout clones. It was on the Horizon tape, very, very basic, with just a bat and a ball and no power-ups or anything like that. But Batty is probably, for my money, the best one on the ZX Spectrum, and Steve Norman focuses on that. So have a look at what he thinks on that, and also he does a roundup of games he's played this week, so it's RETROARCADIA.BLOG. Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. Thank you as well too. Thanks there, and thank you to Lemmy Barnett, Steve Q. Thank you for all your support, mate. Really appreciate it. Hope things are going good for you in this wondrous new year, which is a bit wet and grey at the moment here. Big thank you to Phil Hill. All the bulbs going on, that light is flickering a bit. Thank you. That's what I need to do as well. Upgrade the lighting. Maybe get one of those ring things as well. But anyway, something for me to investigate and look at. The bulbs are a bit old now, so it's like a dimming slightly. So thank you, Phil Hill. Thank you also to Chono Baggy. Chono, if you haven't already, I'll give it a quick shout there, because I'm not sure if Chono wants me to keep shouting this, but I'll show it anyway. Instagram.com/ChonoBaggy. if you're into cosplay and want to get any ideas or inspiration for yourself, click on this site or type it in instagram.com/chonobaggy. If you've got an Instagram account, go here, follow it, bring up the followers, like the pictures, Star Wars ones and other ones as well. Always professionally done. As I said before, it looks like they're off a movie set to me. Really clever and nice pictures. Instagram.com/chonobaggy. Go there if you're an Instagrammer. And also, thank you to Jason Holmes. Thank you, Jason. Hope all is good your end. So yeah, thank you to people that are maintaining their subscriptions there. Never any pressure by any means, but if you can afford to do so, it helps me massively going forward and what I can plan as well, and my state of mind to a degree, but isn't that the same with everything? Also as well, thank you to these people that are on the upper tier. Really, really, really appreciated. Thanks, guys. You probably know these names already if you watch these videos to the end. There's Rossi Bossy. Now we can check Ross Bossy's site at rossbossy.itch.io. That's rossbossy.itch.io. Always got a number of projects up and running. He's taken a little bit of a break from Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix, but I think he's going to go back on it in 2022 after a breather, go in it with fresh eyes, update a few other things as that nears completion. And it's a massive project, this one, so well done to Roz, respect to you. As also working on a side project called Reimagined. Got his thumb in a few pies and does games as well. I'm probably going to get banned from the bakers at some point. But anyway, well done, Ross. Keep doing what you're doing. Have a look at that site, rossbossy.itch.io. A few games free to download as well from there if you want to see what other stuff he's done, Re-Enduro and Nifty Lifty 2. And I love Nifty Lifty 2 and I love Re-Enduro as well, but I love Nifty Lifty 2 that little bit better. Thank you as well to Colin Hode and Martin R. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big thank you to Richard Mitten. It's probably a bit warmer where you are. Yes, being in the old States is not particularly warm here. But you know, weather is weird. It might be cold where you are as well, I don't know. But very thank you, Richard, for your help. Big thanks to Tom. And last but certainly not least, my friend in Australia, Graham Webke. A very happy new year to you, Graham. And a very happy new year to everyone that watches this video and any of the videos and any of the stuff. So, you know, 2022. It's got off to a busy start for me. It's going to calm down. As I say, I've got a few extra days. I want to offer you a bit improved in what we're doing. It's okay, but I want to improve maybe the sound quality of these and a few other bits as well. But that's the nature of it. If you're a content creator, it's not the easiest thing to do. But if you're a content creator, you want to gradually evolve and get better. And it's slow movement. It all depends, as I say, on the time I've got, the thinking time. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy. This has gone up Saturday instead of Friday. So enjoy the rest of your weekend if you're watching these live as they go up. We'll continue with the stress busting, so if things are getting a bit on top of you, well, we'll come together and we'll try and help it. We haven't got all the answers, of course. I can't help one-to-one on everyone on a 24-hour basis, but I will do as much as I possibly can in terms of the videos and lifting the spirits and the live streams too. So take good care of yourself, stay healthy, eat well, don't neglect yourself, always put yourself as number one, and help other people as well. Those two don't really go together. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, don't you? Till next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.